Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? You got a piece up at ESPN.com right now about basically the Saints cap decisions that are all coming. Big picture first, Kat. Do you ever see a time or an end to this philosophy of just, as everyone has phrased it, keep kicking the can down the road?
I think if they were going to do that, they would have not signed Derek Carr. So it's going to be a while now. They don't have a choice. I mean, that's the thing. It's like once it gets rolling, you can't stop for a few more years. And the way Derek Carr's contract is structured, this is going to keep happening for several years. So if they were going to do it, it would have been last year, and they didn't see it that way. And so now, we're going to probably see the fallout of that over the next 3 years, probably, with just some of the bigger names that I highlighted that are some of the older players in the league.
Let's start. We'll get there. Let me start, though, with Carr, since you mentioned it. I know there's been reports that he's going to get restructured, which, I mean, look, Kat, in my heart of hearts, we all knew that they were going to restructure him. I guess I just hoped that they wouldn't. They just bite the bullet and get rid of him after this season. So what does a Derek Carr restructure mean realistically?
I mean, it's a huge number. So, I mean, basically people that aren't, cap nerds, a restructure simply means you move money from this year to the next year. So you take Derek Carr's $30 million base salary, almost all of it, and you divide it by as much as 5. So you're adding $5 million a year to the future cap number. So basically what that means is you go from next year, they could have gotten out of his contract with really not too much of an issue. I think his salary may have been guaranteed, so, they'd have to eat some money. But it goes from that to they would lose money against the cap if they tried to cut him next year. And his salary cap number will be so big that they'll probably have to restructure it again. So it adds it basically just means you're tied to the player unless you feel like that player absolutely needs to go and they're just going to eat all the dead money at once. Sometimes you see that. I mean, the Falcons did that with Matt Ryan when they traded him, and sometimes it works out that the team bounces back quickly after a year, and sometimes it has fallout for a while.
Biggest cap hit ever, dead cap hit ever, was the Eagles. Right, the Eagles did with what was the quarterback they took second overall after Goff, kid from North Dakota. Why am I blanking?
What, Carson Wentz?
Wentz, thank you. Yeah, they did it with Wentz, right? They ate like $50 million on Carson Wentz's contract.
I'm not sure how much it was, but yeah, I mean, it's a similar concept. You got to hit on these players and hope that they see out their entire contract, or else you're going to be paying for it. So that's kind of what they're seeing with Derek Carr. I don't think they see it that way. I don't think in their mind. I mean, I don't know. I'm speaking for other people, but I don't think they see it as this problem that other people might see it as. So to them, that's probably not a huge deal. I think the other ones, the more difficult ones that you mentioned we're going to get to, are the players that are getting older and not performing as well as they used to be, but yet the Saints are tied to them as well. So it's not that they can't get under the cap. There's certain, kind of made me laugh, because if you follow my work, I do a lot of cap work, and I have for the past 10 years, and someone sent me a picture of Kai Harley and said, well, you don't know how to manage the cap, you don't know football. And I was just thinking, have you read any of my stuff? I write about this every year. I know they can get under the cap.
I think everybody that covers the Saints could probably be like an assistant GM in any NFL office right now to help with cap structures, because you all have to do this every year. By the way, the Eagles ate $52 million in dead money, but 33 of it was Wentz. So that was the number I was thinking of.
That is a lot. Yeah. I know the Matt Ryan number was huge too at the time.
You mentioned the older guys on the roster, and that's one of the things, Kat, that people often ask, like, well, could they trade this player? And generally my answer is, well, no, because who's going to give up an asset to take on an aging player with a bad contract? So who are the players that you look at right now that are the ones that are most in line for a restructure or a question about how their contract will work?
I'm going to end up doing a bigger cap piece on how they get under the cap later, but the one today was just naming some of these guys. One of them is Ryan Ramczyk. He's not old; he's not even 30 yet, but all of a sudden you're dealing with a tackle with bad knees that signed a new deal a few years ago and could end up not seeing that deal. So that's a big one. Alvin Kamara is a little bit of a question mark when you look at production of running backs and how fast they decline around this age. Taysom Hill is a question because he's older and he's not taken just as many hits as Kamara has, actually. So that's another one. He's had a lot of injuries. Then, Cam Jordan's the other question. Then Demario Davis isn't as big of a question. He's only got 2 years left, or a year. He doesn't have a long contract like the rest of them, and it won't have major financial implications, but if his contract ends up voiding, it's going to be like the Andres Pete situation potentially this year where they have to pay for him when he's not on the roster.
Is Kat Terrell's with us. She's on Twitter at @Kat_Terrell, ESPN.com Saints reporter. So, we all know, Kat, that they're going to get within cap compliance. They're going to restructure all these deals.
Right.
But is there a path to where they start to see, I always compare it, Kat, to you take on this mountain of debt, and instead of just stop spending, start to pay off the debt, they keep applying for new credit cards or taking out more loans.
Right.
Do they ever what could they do to start paying off the debt?
They would have to have a year where they just decide, hey, a lot of people look at it this way. They say, should the Saints tear it down and rebuild? That's not always that easy because you have to pay for these remaining signing bonuses all at once. So you can't just cut everyone all at once. It doesn't work that way because then all this money is accelerated in the cap. And I could give a long-winded answer, but I won't. So I guess it's more like they start to see that maybe they're not going to be as competitive as they hoped, and they start shedding the pieces one by one. I don't think that's a one-year process. I think that takes place over a few years. But in the Saints' mind, they might continue to say, we run our team thinking that the cap is going to accelerate up every year because of TV deals, and we're just going to catch up because the salary cap is always getting bigger. So maybe they never change their approach because they've been doing this ever since Drew Brees got that new contract in 2012, and they really haven't ever felt inclined to change the way they do things.
I'm not going to spend less to pay off my debt. I'm just going to go make more money. That's what I'm going to do. That's basically their
philosophy, basically.
It's so
crazy. And sometimes I'm not going to say that it's always a bad idea. I understood their thought process when Brees still had years to go. They were trying to surround him with pieces. Yeah, it made sense.
Absolutely.
I understood that. But then, going and signing Derek Carr, and it's not that his contract is this huge burden of a contract if he's playing well. If he's not playing well, everything changes. So if they hadn't signed him, then it would be a different story because then you could probably start getting out of this hole, but that's not going to happen now.
They went all in to win another one with Brees, and they just didn't climb the mountain. And it sucks because now you're left with this mountain of debt and nothing to show for it. But it's the reality. It's the risk that they took, and they just keep digging this hole deeper. It's so odd to see, but in any event. We'll be following all of your cap pieces because, yes, Kat Terrell does understand the salary cap. That's hilarious that someone would think anybody covering the Saints at this point doesn't know how the salary cap works. Make sure you follow her on Twitter at @Kat_Terrell. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for having me on.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.